Hello and welcome back to Dreamy Minds. Before we drift beneath the waves tonight, take a slow, easy breath in and let it fall gently out. Feel your shoulders soften. Feel the space behind your eyes loosen. Let the day slip away like sand falling through open fingers. Tonight we are journeying towards one of Earth's most wondrous places, the Great Barrier Reef, a living, breathing masterpiece stretching along Australia's northeast coast, a gentle chain of almost 3,000 reefs and hundreds of islands. It drifts across the ocean like a shimmering ribbon of color and life. It is called the Great Barrier Reef because it forms a vast, protective barrier, a quiet wall of coral that softens the force of the open sea, creating calm lagoons and sheltered waters where countless creatures thrive. And tonight, we approach this ancient, living wonder, not with urgency, but with soft, effortless calm. Imagine yourself lying on your back at the surface of a warm tropical sea. The ocean holds you effortlessly, as though it knows exactly how to carry you. Above you, dusk settles into a gentle gradient, gold melting into rose, rose dissolving into soft blue. Your breath grows slower, deeper, quieter. The warm air smells faintly of salt and sun-warmed water. Another deep breath in and out. The ocean begins to sway with you. Your breath becomes the tide, rising, falling. A quiet rhythm meant only for you. Beneath you, something ancient begins to stir. A subtle warmth rising from the depths. A shimmer, a flicker of color, a whisper of life. The Great Barrier Reef. You feel it before you see it. A presence, a pulse, a soft hum in the water. With no effort at all, your body begins to descend. Not pulled, not pushed, simply guided. Weightless, calm, safe. Light ripples around you in long, fluid ribbons as you drift deeper. The surface drifts slowly away, the glow softening into dreamy blue. With each breath, the world grows quieter. Thoughts loosen, muscles release. Even the tiny movements of your fingers slow into stillness. Then, gradually, like the soft opening of a flower, colors begin to appear beneath you. Soft pinks, muted purples, warm greens, hazy shapes blooming through the blue. The reef, a vast, shimmering mosaic rising from the seafloor, a sleeping city carved from living color and drifting light. Its towers and ridges glowing softly in the quiet blue like a dream the ocean has been holding for centuries. You drift closer, your body suspended in perfectly warm water. Every movement is slow, unhurried, effortless. Every thought drifts like a wandering current. The coral towers take shape as you approach, shadowed ridges, gentle curves, structures branching outward like ancient trees reaching for the surface. The deeper you drift, the more vivid the colors become. Rays of fading light spill over the reef, turning the water into a soft, shimmering glow. Your breath slows further, in and out. Steady as the tide, the reef seems to breathe with you. A subtle pulsing beneath the water, a sense of life woven through every color and shape. You glide just above the coral towers, your body floating effortlessly. You feel the gentle lift of the current beneath your arms, the soft brush of warm water along your skin. Time loosens. Thoughts dissolve. The world narrows to color, water, stillness. Below you, tiny flecks of drifting plankton glow like stars suspended in slow motion. They drift upward toward you, swirling gently in the dim blue light. Every sensation slows. Your breath, your heartbeat, even the small movements of your eyes. You hover for a moment, suspended above the dreaming reef. Calm, weightless, held. With one final long exhale, you surrender to the descent. Mind quiet, body floating, spirit softened, and drift deeper into the warm, welcoming, ancient heart of the reef's nocturnal dreaming. As you drift deeper, the world begins to glow around you, softly at first, like faint watercolor rippling across a page, then gradually brightening into a tapestry of gentle, living color. The ocean reveals its secret. This world is alive. Not stone, not plants, but millions upon millions of tiny animals, coral polyps, each one a minuscule life form no larger than a grain of rice. Yet together they have built something extraordinary. They have created a vast limestone city, stretching for thousands of kilometers, a living architecture shaped not by hands, but by time, patience, and the quiet persistence of life. You float closer. A towering coral structure rises beneath you like a cathedral of the sea, its ridges softened by light, its curves shaped by centuries. Every groove is a memory, every fold a layer of history. The polyps extend their gentle tentacles, swaying in the slow current. They are feeding, breathing, living, tiny creatures that together build mountains. Inside each one lives an even smaller partner, algae, tiny golden green cells, the reef's sun catchers. In return for a safe home, they gift the corals energy and color. Luminous greens, deep violets, soft pinks, warm honey golds. This ancient partnership, coral and algae, is the heartbeat of the reef. A final shimmer of sunlight fades from the surface far above, and the reef begins to glow. You drift forward. Forests of branching coral stretch upward like frozen trees. Massive boulder corals rise like ancient monuments. Wide, spiraling plate corals unfold beneath you like the pages of a giant stone book. The shapes are endless. Each form a different way of capturing light, food, and space. Diversity woven into every corner. Then a flicker, soft at first, then another and another. A curtain of drifting light dances through the water. Bioluminescent plankton. They glow like tiny underwater fireflies, pulsing softly blue, then fading, then glowing again. A constellation set adrift beneath the sea. You float through them, the tiny lights swirling gently around your hands, brushing your arms like sparks of drifting stardust. The reef becomes a galaxy below you, a cosmic landscape built from color, movement, and the soft rhythms of life. Canyons open at your feet, narrow passageways carved by centuries of coral growth. Warm currents thread through them, carrying scents of salt and drifting plankton. You drift along one of these canyons now. On either side, coral towers rise like glowing walls. Tiny polyps emerge as you pass, some curling inward like shy blossoms, others extending fully into the water, brushing the currents with their delicate forms. The closer you look, the more you see. Feather-like coral branches sway gently. Tiny shrimp hop between crevices. Minute crabs cling to coral edges like living jewels. Life layered upon life. Your breath slows, deepens, in and out. The reef feels synced with your lungs, its movements mirroring your rhythm. The colors pulse gently with the rise and fall of your breath. A warm current carries you onward into a wide coral plain. Here the reef opens beneath you into a glowing meadow, a field of soft light sweeping outward in gentle waves. It feels endless, timeless, alive. This is more than a reef. It is a breathing ocean of light, a world built not from strength or speed, but from connection, cooperation, and time. Coral upon coral, year after year, shaping a living masterpiece. You float above it, weightless, mesmerized. As you glide farther, new colors emerge, soft apricots, pale blues, and deep crimson hues found only in the ocean's quiet places. Tiny fish weave through the coral branches like drifting brushstrokes. Sea slugs in delicate neon shades crawl slowly along the coral surface, tracing luminous paths. You notice how each coral structure hosts its own tiny neighborhood, some supporting bustling fish families, others home to shy creatures that hide within folds and shadows. Every inch of this place feels purposeful, balanced, alive. In this quiet moment, you feel the ancient intelligence of the reef, the way life has found 1,000 ways to thrive, to adapt, to glow. The water grows warmer around you, humming with the presence of countless tiny lives. The stillness settles deeper into your body, spreading across your chest, your shoulders, your hands. Every sensation slows. Your heartbeat softens. Your breath evens. Your thoughts drift like gentle currents, weaving through coral passages. You hover above the coral plain, a silent guest in this luminous kingdom, calm, weightless, held. With a slow, effortless exhale, you let your body sink a little deeper into the warm, glowing water, and drift peacefully onward into the reef's radiant, ancient heart. Night falls slowly, a velvet curtain drifting across the water. The reef exhales. Everything softens. Even the currents, once lively with daytime motion, begin to slow, settling into a quiet, rhythmic sway. A shadow glides beneath you, a green sea turtle moving with ancient grace. Its flippers sweep in slow, meditative arcs, each movement effortless, as though it has all the time in the world. The gentle rise and fall of its body mirrors the lull of the tide, a living metronome of calm. The reef shifts into whispers now. Tiny shrimp snap softly in the dark, their sounds delicate and crackling, like distant campfire embers. Fish stir the sand with faint flicks of their tails, sending up gentle clouds that drift and settle like underwater dust. Coral polyps open, extending their tiny, translucent tentacles. In the hush of nighttime, they feed, slow, serene, unbothered. A parrotfish nestles into the coral branches. You watch as it weaves its nighttime cocoon, a shimmering silken envelope that forms gradually around its body. The cocoon glows faintly like a soap bubble catching moonlight. It is both shelter and disguise, a quiet ritual of safety performed every single night. You glide past silverfish drifting in slow liquid waves. Their bodies catch every flicker of bioluminescence around them, scales flashing like melting stars. They move as one, a single fluid shape that folds and unfolds with gentle precision. From the edges of the coral, tiny crustaceans emerge. They tap delicately along the limestone, a soft, clicking rhythm that echoes like the reef's own heartbeat. These are the nighttime caretakers, tidying, cleaning, tending to the reef in the soft darkness. Then a vast shadow sweeps overhead, a manta ray. Its wings ripple like silk in slow motion, each movement smooth as drifting smoke. It glides without effort, without sound, a living horizon outlined in faint blue bioluminescent halos. As it passes above you, the water around you dims, then brightens again, as though the ocean is sighing. More creatures appear, slowly, gracefully, as if rising from their own dreams. Tiny cardinal fish glowing like scattered embers. Crayfish waving long, delicate antennae that taste the currents. Feather stars unfurling themselves like petals, arms drifting in soft spirals. Every motion is slow, deliberate, dreamlike. The deeper the night becomes, the more the reef relaxes. The water cools slightly, drifting around your body like a soothing veil. The temperature drop is gentle, comforting, like stepping from sunlight into the shade of a quiet garden. Your breath begins to synchronize with the tide. In, rising with the swell. Out, falling with the ebb. Nothing rushes here, nothing pushes, nothing demands. The nighttime reef exists in a perfect equilibrium, each creature moving in a slow, harmonious rhythm that feels almost hypnotic. You drift through a narrow coral passage where the water grows still and quiet. The only light comes from tiny plankton drifting like blue sparks, illuminating the shadows with their soft, pulsing glow. As you glide through this glowing trail, you feel your body loosens even further. Your arms float weightlessly at your sides. Your legs drift behind you, guided effortlessly by the gentle current. The reef's night rhythm deepens, and you deepen with it. You sense the creatures around you, resting, drifting, pulsing, feeding, each one part of a vast, interconnected dream. You watch the swaying of soft corals, the slow drifting of fish, the gentle movements of invertebrates waking and sleeping by the light of their own tiny glow. Here the night does not feel dark. It feels peaceful, warm, endless. You drift deeper into the night rhythm of the reef, and the reef drifts quietly, gently, peacefully into you. A warm current guides you toward a faint glow, moonlight rising from the seafloor. You emerge into a clearing and see it. A massive coral bommie, the heart of this underwater world. In the soft glow of the water, you see what a bommie truly is. A great coral tower rising from the seafloor, shaped over centuries by countless tiny lives. It stands apart from the main reef like an underwater mountain, grounded, sculpted, steady, a natural sanctuary built layer by patient layer. The word bommie comes from bombora, an aboriginal term for a submerged reef or rock just beneath the surface. Here, it describes these solitary coral pillars, quiet guardians of the ocean floor, places where color gathers and life blossoms. Each bommie is a tiny world of its own, a shelter for fish, a resting place for turtles, a nursery for the smallest drifting lives. Its surface is alive with folds, ridges, and spirals, a living sculpture glowing softly in the moonlit water. Layers upon layers of life built over centuries. Its colors shimmer softly, blues, violets, greens, as polyps feed in the night. You circle it slowly, every spiral, every fold, etched by countless tiny beings, moving in harmony. Here the water feels warmer, as though the bommie itself radiates a gentle heat from its living core. Tiny silver fish glide in and out of its shadow, moving like drifting pieces of moonlight. A small turtle rests against its base, eyes half closed, its shell rising and falling with slow, peaceful breaths. Crabs scuttle along its ridges, pausing as if listening to the quiet hum that pulses from within. You sense it before you understand it, a faint, steady vibration, a pulse. The reef's pulse. It radiates outward, slow, ancient, calming. You match it with your breath. This bommie is home to thousands of species. A quarter of all marine life depends on reefs like this. Fish drift in gentle waves. Brittle stars stretch tiny arms. Butterfly fish trace ancient pathways along the coral. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is out of place. Everything moves in unified rhythm. You think of warming waters, bleaching, the reef's moments of struggle. But beneath it all, you feel something deeper. Resilience. Corals rebuild, regrow, endure. Scientists and caretakers help restore what time challenges. The reef persists. You hover beside the bommie, feeling its quiet strength. You breathe with it, slow, steady, ancient. You remain there a while, suspended in the reef's heartbeat. Then the current shifts, a gentle invitation onward. One last pulse rises through the water, warm, alive. You drift away, carried by its ancient rhythm. The darkness lightens, slowly, softly, like ink dissolving into water. The reef stirs in the quiet before dawn. A pale glow spreads, gentle as a sigh. Fish shift in their shelters, adjusting with sleepy, drifting motions. Feather stars fold their delicate arms inward, closing like underwater flowers, greeting the soft hush before morning. You rise slightly with the current, not by effort, but by invitation. The water above brightens from deep indigo to a muted, powdery blue. Then, a single golden beam pierces the sea. Morning arrives. Light unfurls across the reef in soft, rippling waves. Pink brushing the tips of branching coral. Gold sliding in warm ribbons over rounded boulder ridges. Turquoise tracing the edges of plate corals like luminous ink. The algae within the coral polyps begin to glow as they greet the sun. A silent symphony of light awakening cell by tiny cell. A parrotfish wriggles free from the remnants of its nighttime cocoon, the delicate veil dissolving into the water like fading moonlight. A sea turtle rises toward the surface for its first breath of the day, slow, steady, rhythmic, a creature shaped by dawn itself. You drift upward with the warming water, held effortlessly in its gentle lift. The current feels like a soft hand at your back, guiding you toward the light. The surface glimmers above you like molten glass, shifting peach, lavender, and gold. Each color blends into the next, a watercolor sky mirrored through water. Below, the reef awakens fully. Schools of tiny fish sweep from their nighttime shelters, like constellations returning to the sky. Crustaceans retreat into shadowed crevices, their work for the night complete. Plankton drift with renewed purpose, rising and falling with the morning currents. Everything moves in peaceful harmony, slow, seamless, synced. You rise a little more. The reef spreads far below you, becoming a glowing mosaic, a painting of color and breath and ancient rhythm. As you near the surface, sound begins to stretch into spacious quiet. The faint crackles of nighttime life soften. The water grows warm, silky, bright, infused with sunlight. You pause just beneath the shimmering threshold of the surface. A long, slow breath in, and a long, soft breath out. Your body settles into a deep, comforting heaviness. A heaviness born of release, not burden. It feels like the kind of weight that keeps you grounded even as you drift. The ocean rocks you gently, the rhythm slow and steady. A lullaby meant not for ears, but for the quietest part of you. Below, the reef glows in full morning color. Above, a new day begins to unfurl. You are perfectly held between them, suspended in the warmth of dawn and the memory of soft, dreaming water. In, soft as sunrise. Out, calm as settling sand. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to hold. Only drifting, only warmth, only rest. The ocean leans close, a whisper through water. Drift now, rest, sleep. Like the reef between tides, you surrender to stillness. You are floating. You are safe. You are home. And as you drift here, held by the warmth of the ocean and the first breath of morning, let your mind soften into quiet light. Let the gentle rhythm of the tide cradle your thoughts, carrying them farther and farther from the edges of wakefulness. Thank you for exploring with Dreamy Minds tonight, where science becomes serenity and the world softens into wonder. Rest now. Settle deeply and drift into the gentle, endless calm that waits for you just beyond sleep.